Welcome to Fallout 76. This is Jim. In this video, we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Monday, December the 4th, 2023. Let's take a look at and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some slightly different ones here. Now, you will notice I have a few different ones than you may have. I did reroll, go to the pit, expedition, and kill Trogs. Both of them are reroll, they got something different instead. Many videos on my channel that will help you guys out. I give you different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas that were there. If you're a brand spanking new player, a returning player, or even experienced player, if there's a particular daily or even weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble, I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that will help you. I try to keep them up as updated as they possibly can because this game is ever so changing with every update. Okay, let's take a look here. Some stuff we could do right here in our camp. Let's go ahead and craft any plushie at a Tinkerer's Bench 1. Okay, so we've talked about this before. We've had many of the same type of daily and even weekly this week. Okay, so you're wondering what you know for plushies. A good way to know is to go right to the Atomic Shop. Let's check that out here. Okay. Now, if you go in here to camp items, now if you scroll down, there'll be some plushies here that you can actually buy. So if you're a brand spanking new player, I know it's hard to say, but if you don't know any plushies at all, there are some plushies here that you could buy. Where are we at here? So there's a plushie there, like the pretty simple plushie, 200 atoms for him. Mr. Fuzzy Halloween plushie, 300 atoms. It's a good one right here, Graham plushie, 300 atoms. So you could buy these plushies, okay? And if you keep scrolling down a little bit more, let's go here. There'll be some plushies that'll show up that plushies that you actually own, so you might not even know it. Okay, and these are plushies. I never really bought a plushie from the Atomic Shop before. I've always been rewarded a plushie from the scoreboard or from doing certain events. Now, there's a couple of events that you can do right now in the game that you can earn a plushie plan. Right here at Middle Mountain Pit Stop, it's called Safe and Sound. And down here at Sacramento Glade, it's called Beasts of Burden. And you can also buy plushie plans from other players' vendor, but most times they're pretty expensive for caps. Alright, so when it talks about crafting a plushie at a Tinkerer's Bench, let's do that right here. So you go to your Tinker's Workbench, you go craft. You're down here a little bit further, it's souvenirs, just slide it over. This is where you would craft your flares and your steins and your plushies. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll craft a plushie boss, behemoth boss plushie. Most plushies only cost 2 cloth to craft. Let's go ahead and craft him. Done, just like this. So you craft any plushie at a Tinkerer's Bench 1 for 1. Now, this has nothing to do with the daily quest, but I want to mention it just in case somebody is wondering and they stumble across my video and they don't know. When you craft a plushie at a Tinkerer's Bench like I just did, you can't put that particular plushie in your camp, alright? Let's go to our Pip-Boy here and I'll show you. So there's our Behemoth boss plushie. We can't equip him at all. All we can do is when we drop him, we can't even give them to somebody else or sell them. It just basically destroys itself, okay? Now, if you do want to put a plushie into your camp, you actually have to do that in your build menu. So when you go to your build menu, you go over to floor decor, and you just scroll quite a ways down until you'll see a plushie that will pop up, and that'll be the plushie kind of area, I guess. Just keep going here. I don't want to zing right by it there because I'll probably will fly right by it. There's right there. So these are the plushies here. You just bring them to the side. These are the ones that I know. And there'll be some that you don't know with little locks on them. And this is where you would craft a plushie and put in your camp, okay? So FYI on that. Let's go ahead and craft this little fella here. There we go, just like that, okay? Just in case someone was wondering, okay? What is next here, Jim? What is next? Seeing how we're close to Flatwoods, we might as well go ahead and kill a Brahmin too. Flatwoods is a great spot for Brahmin. As you can tell, my camp is fairly close to the wayward, but you know what? I don't want to pick on these Brahmin because these are my neighbors. They kind of watch out for my camp, for enemies and such, so I like to be a good neighbor. So we're actually going to go down the road to actual Flatwoods itself. Let's go ahead and fast travel down there. Save a little bit of time of you watching me run down the road. Okay, so we're here in Flatwoods. Again. Kill A Brahmin 2. Right here in good old Flatwoods area. Look for the house with the red star on it. Kill a couple Brahmin. I know it's sad, but it's part of the game. There we go. Kill A Brahmin 2 for 2. Done. Just like that. Just like that. So there's usually 3 Brahmin in this area here. And then right up here will be another 2 Brahmin. There'll be a Brahmin up there. There'll be a Brahmin just around the corner here, right there. See him? He's a little bit of a transporter. And then what you do is there's probably about 3 or 4 just on the other side of that little garage with the yellow roof there. Okay, there's about 3 or 4 Brahmin in that area. Okay. So that's so once again, Flatwoods, real good spot for some Brahmin, nice and easy for everyone. Next one we'll take a look. Seeing how we're in Flatwoods, let's go ahead, drink tea 1. Okay, so we talked about this one before as well. Now let's go to a cooking station. We have a couple cooking stations right here. Now tea is under all drinks. Let's go down here. Now there's a couple teas here. Like this simple bloodleaf tea. Okay, so simple bloodleaf tea is a recipe that you automatically learn from picking up a bloodleaf. That's all you need to do to learn this recipe. You don't have to go buy it from someone or find it. You automatically learn the recipe from picking up a bloodleaf. We need boiled water and wood. Okay, so we are in Flatwoods, so there's quite a few bloodleaves around the back river right behind the church that stretches all the way up to the wayward. Let's go ahead and look for a bloodleaf. Hopefully there'll be some here. And all we need is 1. Oh, there's a couple down there. Spotted in that event, fertile soil. There's our bloodleaf here. Let's go ahead and pick them up. And that's all you have to do to learn that recipe. Just pick up a bloodleaf, and that's it. And then go to go back to your cooking station, wherever it's at. Let's go ahead to our cooking station here. All drinks again. Simple bloodleaf tea, just like that. So 1 bloodleaf, 1 boiled water, 1 woods. Go ahead and craft this guy. Let's back out, and we have to drink it. So let's go ahead, let's drink it. Simple bloodleaf tea, done. Drink tea, easy peasy. And as you can see, I am a carnivore, so no worries about that. And we brought those guys up with us. Crazy old robots. We're supposed to get an update tomorrow. And hopefully gets rid of those robots being so overpowered. Right now, I don't have the time of day for them right now, or the patience. Okay, we'll let the Brahmin deal with them. What do you guys think? Let the Brahmin deal with them. Who's that cat? Scavenger. Okay. Whew. All right, what's next here, Jim? What is next? Collect a microscope or biometric scanner 2. I like to kind of go for the microscopes. And we had this one earlier in the week. And we might as well finish it off right up here at good old Morgantown High School. Let's go ahead and fast travel up there. Now, I have several videos on my channel that shows you great locations for microscopes. Some of the videos, I'm actually looking for crystal. And I'm actually looking for microscopes because when you scrap them, it gives you some crystal. And other great things. So, just keep that in mind. Now, as we all know, Morgantown full of ghouls, but Morgantown High School is more scorched, okay? So just watch out for that, in case you didn't know. Nope, don't think so. What you want to do, you want to go right in these doors right here, the white doors. Okay. Now there'll be some scorched inside here as well. What you want to do, get down this hallway here. Just a short hallway. Has a little pumpkin on the wall. And as we know, there's usually about 3 to 4 microscopes in this area. I haven't reset the game since the last time we picked these up, but there's 2 more at least in here. One right there. And one right there. Done. Collect a microscope, a biometric scanner, 2 for 2. And there's usually 4. There's usually 4 microscopes in this one little chemistry lab area. Okay, science lab, whatever you want to call it. Done. Just like that. Just like that, guys. Let's go ahead. Seeing how we're in here, we might as well take care of some of these scorch that are around. You know, critical hit to an enemy 5. And at the same time, we're going to grab their ranged weapons off of them. So we're going to grab them off the scorched. And then we're going to scrap them for that daily, okay? So deal a critical hit. We've talked about this many times. I have many great videos. I'm going to switch to this handmade here. All right, so let's kind of sneak out here, and hopefully I'll be able to kind of show it. Let's grab this weapon here. All right. You guys are creepy. Balachat, no. Alright, so there's a scorch right there. So you see how the crit meter in the middle of the screen, I know it's hard to see, but it's kind of half filled, okay? When you go VATS, alright? And you see at the bottom of the screen, if I bring it up again. Just trying to get him into position here. So you see the bottom of the screen. Oh. And he's a transporter too, so that doesn't help. So you see the bottom of the screen. It says critical, but it's grayed out. Okay. So I need to fill that critical meter up. And once it fills up, I can either look at the screen to see if it's full, or it makes a sound like a bloop sound. And that's how you know your crit meter is full. Okay. And then once it's full, so, okay, so you hear that sound, that bloop sound? That's how we know that our crit meter is full without having to sit there and watch the meter, okay? And now, when we go VATS again, you see how it says, you know, the critical at the bottom of the screen, so the Y for me because I'm on Xbox Series X, so now it's flashing, and that means I can perform a critical hit. So I have to hit the fire button and the Y button at the same time, okay? Now, I know someone had mentioned that they just hold on to the Y button or whatever button it is that you use for the critical and the fire button. They just hold on to the Y every time this particular daily pops up, all right? So I never really thought about doing that. I'd have to train myself to do that. I like to kind of go for the torso. Okay, there we go. Now, one thing I do find is the weapon that I use is a 2-shot. This particular weapon here, this 2-shot Armor Ace handmade, or just 2-shot handmade, I guess. But I find I get credit for 2 critical hits with this particular weapon, and I've noticed that a lot. I never really noticed it until I started to do these videos kind of thing. And then I kind of, you know, as I was explaining it to myself for people watching my videos, and I've realized, wait a minute, I'm getting credit. Getting credit for 2 critical hits with 1 shot. So FYI on that, if you have a 2-shot, or if you have a legendary weapon that helps you with critical hits. Oh, deal with the critical hits, then it'll help you. Because those of you who follow my channel long enough will know that I have a fixer that has a legendary effect on it, where it only takes 2 shots to fill the crit meter. So some weapons will take a little bit longer, as you know from weapons I'm holding right now. But the fixer I use, just because it has that legendary effect, doesn't take long for that crit meter to fall, like usually 2 shots. And I've even had someone say to me that it took them maybe 1 shot, just depending on what perk cards you have as well. So keeping that in mind, that when you're doing critical hits, a lot of factors will fall into that. I don't know where this cat is at. I think this goes outside. Yeah, it does. We know they're around, we hear them, but we don't see them. Appalachia. I think there's a gymnasium coming up, and there'll be a couple scorched in there. And as you go, depending on if you have a good weapon like a 2-shot, and if you have the critical hit legendary effects on your weapon, you can get this done in no time. No time at all. And when you get used to doing critical hits more often, you'll be using it all the time. Guaranteed. Oh, this guy's got 2 shotguns on him. All right, so what do we got here? We get 10mm pistol, that. Thought we had a couple shotguns here. Yeah, we do got a couple combat ones. All right. So that one's done. Craft or scrap a ranged weapon 5. Perfect. So we took care of our scorched. We picked up their weapons, and now we're going to scrap them if we can find a workbench. Should be a workbench around here somewhere, but to save some time and trouble, let's just go to Morgantown Station. Just close by, and there'd be a workbench there for sure. So any old workbench will do. Craft a scrap or ranged weapon. We killed our scorched. We got our ranged weapons from killing the scorched, from doing the critical hits. No, you don't have to do it at Morgantown High School. You can go right to the Morgantown Airport. All kinds of scorched through there as well. We scrap here. Okay, some scraps, some items here. And just like that. Perfect. Craft a scrap or ranged weapon. Now, you can craft them if you want. But it's going to cost you some resources. You might as well just kind of go out and just grab them. You can incorporate a couple of these dailies at the same time, you know what I mean? What's next here? Kill an angular 5. Okay, so we saved this one for last. Angulars are... can be a little difficult. Actually, let's switch him back, and we're going to lock and load him. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to head back to my camp here. We're going to craft some nuke grenades. I'm going to take you to a spot where we can find some anglers. Now, I have a video on that where I have a real good spot. Guaranteed spot for anglers. I don't know what's going on here, but everything's kind of slow motion here today. Alright, it's back out. Alright. So, kill an angler 5. We probably will have to server hop. Now, sometimes if you look in the map, sometimes you'll come across an angler horde, okay? Or in some higher level areas where you find these workbenches, okay? Sometimes the enemies that you have to defeat are anglers, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, great spot. So let's go ahead. Let's find our little spot here. It is called the Gnarled Shallows. Let's go up here. Fast travel. Okay, so here we are. We're up here at the Gnarled Shallows to do a daily kill an angler 5. Now, I have a video on this showing you this is a great location for at least 2 to 3 anglers. Now, the anglers here aren't kind of roaming around. They're kind of in the water. And the only way to see them is their little antenna on the top of their head sticking up out of the water. So let's go over here, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. Now, I'm on a private server, so you see there? You see right there? That's one of the antennas for an angler right there, okay? And there's usually 3 of them here. Let's take care of this cat first. So you see venomous angler? Let's see if we can get his attention. I have to get a little bit closer here. Okay, got him. Okay. That's one. And one thing I do like about this place is that these other guys, I don't know if they're asleep or what it is, but they will not jump up and attack you, and then, you know, then it's 3-on-1. All right, so let's go ahead here. Try to get this guy's attention. Huh? Well, let's try it this way, Jim. Let's go over here. Go over here for a second. Boys. Oh, he's a level 100. Holy. Nice. Level 100 right there. So this is a high level area. Unfortunately, if you're a low level player, anglers aren't the best thing to be fighting against, okay? They're just not. They're not the funnest. They're not the funnest. If you got a couple grenades on you, the better. So the third guy is over here. I don't know what level he might. I don't know what level he's going to be at. He's only level 50. Okay, that's good. All right, so 3 for 5 done. We get a couple of dudes walking down this way. Let's get this stuff here. And we're going to have to server hop. When you server hop, these guys should repopulate the area. And I might have to server hop to a public server. So hopefully they'll be here. But that video I made some time ago, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, it was very popular. Very popular indeed. All right. Let's check one last time, see if there's any angler hordes around. I don't see any angler hordes. Oh, rad horde. Okay. Sometimes if you're lucky enough, at Sunday Brothers Cabin, you'll have the Moonshine Jamboree. There'll be lots of anglers there as well. All right, like all kinds of them. So if that one happens to pop up, by all means, do that one as well. And I know some people will probably mention that in the video, anyways, in the comments. All right, so let's go ahead. We are going to server hop this location, and we were going to come back on a public server this time. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I server hopped a couple times before in one area, and the enemies were still dead. So I don't know, I think it's different stipulations if you're on a private server. Get rid of this guy. All right. All we need is 2 more anglers. We're going to do it again. Hopefully they're here. Okay, perfect. So they are here. You can aim in the water if you like. Nice. We're going to leave that guy there alone, because he was a level 100 last time, and I think he was level 100 the previous time before that, like a couple months ago too. So let's go over here. We'll pick on this guy over here. He might be a little lower level. Yeah, level 50, perfect. Give him a, hey, there we go. Kill an angler 5 for 5. So I saved this one for last, just because how it can be a little much. I mean, and I knew I was going to have to server hop anyway. So yeah, so there we go. We'll leave that other guy alone. Folks in the server must not be aware of this location. There's just maybe not enough people on the server. Huh. Anywho, I think we're done. Let's check it out. We are done. Just like that, guys. Easy. Simple. Effective. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Boogaloo Bronson, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe. Thank you all so very much. And I hope you all have a nice day.